Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss about water quality parameters and the water treatment for the domestic purposes. Okay. So actually, what is the real problem we are facing in the domestic water? The first problem is whether it's a hard water or soft water. Okay. Can you tell Mukesh what is hard water or soft water? How do you find it out?
We can find hard water and soft water difference by using soap. They form leather. If they form leather, they are hard water.
Soft water.
They form leather, they are soft water. If not present, they are hard water.
Okay, so what happens when you're going to use the hot water for the domestic purposes? This wastage of soap and also the cleaning process will be less, right? And there is a term called the water quality parameters. So for all the water we are utilizing, either in the domestic or the industrial purpose, we will have to test what quality of the water is there. For that certain we will have to follow certain things, right? And can any of you tell what are the different quality parameters water can have? Can you tell me?
It is like taste, color, order, pH value, and the hardness of the water.
Okay, so all these things, these are the basic things, and the other parameters. Okay, so the total dissolves solids, then chemical oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand. These are the different water quality parameters that has to be seen before using the water either for the domestic or the industrial purposes. Okay. So can you tell how you will process the water for the domestic treatment? I mean domestic use.
So
Basic treatments.
it's like a sequential process which begins with aeration and then goes with filtration, coagulation, sedimentation, and finally
Disinfection.
disinfection.
Yes.
Disinfection.
Okay. So what is that aeration and coagulation?
So aeration is like pumping the water with air, with fresh air like oxygen, just for the microbial bacteria to grow and decompose all the biological matter in the water. So next the coagulation stage is where alum is added, which is aluminium sulfate, which is added just to coagulate. Coagulate means collecting all these together to form flocks. So flocks are basically a collection, a cluster of all these bacteria and organic matter together, which is then, so once the flocks are formed, it has mass, so it settles down in the sedimentation.
So tell me what the sedimentation process.
Sedimentation is the physical water treatment in which the impurities in the water get sedimented in the sedimentation tank due to gravity. This process increases the water quality and increases the efficiency of further treatment.
Okay. So what?
Now next is the filtration process. Filtration is the removing of the small impurities or large particles. So the process done by first we should pour the impure water inside the filter, and the filter will filter all the small particles and we will get the clean water. And there are some types of filtration called slow sand filtration, rapid filtration, activated carbon filtration, and membrane filtration.
Okay. So these are the different types of filtration process.
After filtration process, the only the particles were filtered out, but the germs in the waters were left in the water. So based on 4 ways we can clean the germs in the water. First step is adding chlorine, small amount of chlorine to water. Then it kills most of the germs, but it may give some chemical taste to the water. And many theme parts were using the chlorine, which is commonly called as bleach, were using to treat the water. And another method is UV light. When the light water is passes through the pipe, the UV light is for by this the chemicals were treated, and also it does not produce any chemical taste to the water. And another traditional method is heating the water up to 100 degrees Celsius, which kills the germs and bacteria in the water.
So there's some issues that will be faced. Okay, that is when you are using the UV for the disinfection process. How do we know that UV is actually going and acting on that? Okay, this is one concern. And another is in the chlorination process. What happens? there will be the taste of the chlorine and the smell will be there. That is also one of the disadvantage, right? And what else? You tell me.
Reverse
What you
osmosis.
have to tell.
So reverse osmosis is another efficient water treatment strategy for getting high quality water which is purified. So basically the process involves like osmosis. Osmosis is a phenomenon in which water flow from low concentration to high concentration side. But if and this pressure which drives this water is called the osmotic pressure. So basically, when the osmotic pressure, then the hydrostatic pressure applied on the high concentration side is greater than the osmotic pressure, the flow of the water, the direction of the water which is flowing will be reversed automatically. So it will flow from high concentration to low concentration. This process is called reverse osmosis or RO in short, and it is also called super purification method. So basically, the significance of this process is that it involves non-permeable permeable surface. So basically, it will have a porous holes which is very tiny, like in nanoscale, 10 nanometers exactly, and it will defilterize every minerals. That's also being a disadvantage, and the material used for this porous permeable membrane is that cellulosamide and polyuride polymer. So basically, this is highly purified water, which is RO water used commercially in every places. Very healthy for like it is used for drinking as well because domestic water. But the disadvantage is that it requires skilled maintenance,
Yeah.
and as well as minerals, some useful minerals also get filtered. That's what.
And one more disadvantage is whatever the process we are water processing by our process, like it is most of the 70% of water is getting wasted. Only the rest 30 is getting. So we should have a mechanism where that water it can be used for some other purposes for the domestic or when it is used in industrial purpose also. So we have to come up with these certain types of ideas by designing the filters accordingly, and also the maintenance cost is very high. So we have to see that any maintenance that will be done by ourselves without requiring the technicians. So that is also a main problem that is faced by the people during this water processing. Okay. So we'll have to find a solution, we have to find a prototype and have to test with it. Okay. So this is a very good area for research because water treatment is a very, it's a basic that we are using it, and also in the industrial purposes, it is very important that water should be a very good quality water. Otherwise, there will be so many problems in the machineries, etc. Right? So we'll have to find the solution for this, right? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.